friends, Spartans, and other fans of Halo, I hope you have room in your collection, because this month's Vault Drop on August 28th is going to be all about Halo. We are not getting 1, but 4 new World of Halo figures to the Jazwares Vault. I want to say thank you to Jazwares. They sent all of this over, allowing me to give you a first look. In this video, I'm going to give you a close-up and preview of all 4 of these new figures from the Jazwares Vault. So let's just go down the line, starting with the Grunt. Now this is the Grunt Major, the leader of the Grunts, which can be seen within the first 3 Halo games, hence why we have that old school design. Now this is the second Grunt figure out of the entire World of Halo collection that has that old school look, which that very first figure was released in that Target exclusive 4-pack. Now I do love the packaging to these Halo Vault figures. Very simple while still being elegant at the same time. Matte backdrop and a glossy illustration of our figure on the back, front, and side. Now, per usual, this is limited edition to the Vault only. It does have that nice flip open display with the Velcro tabs there. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a noticeable difference as far as weathering goes. It looks great. Even that like little plasma pistol looks a lot dirtier, and the paint apps just look deep, dirty, and like super gritty. Alright, first look out of the packaging, totally an upgrade, that is for sure. The paint applications look amazing. I mean, all the weathering, like, look at the little toenails right there, how, like, gritty and dirty those are. This Grunt has definitely been going through it. I mean, here is just a quick comparison of our previous Grunt, and look how clean this one is compared to our new Vault exclusive. This is great that they're individually packaged, because if I wanted to army build a few of them, then I can do so. The World of Halo is known for a massive amount of articulation in such a small scale, and this is no different here. So just briefly going over it again, we can bring the arms upwards and downwards. We do have those double joints here at the knees, which is fantastic. We have ball joints here at the hips, so I can bring the legs inwards and outwards. He also has some pretty decent head articulation, a hinge and a swivel. I can move it into a more neutral pose. If I wanted to have him look upwards, I would have to kind of combine some of the joints together, but he can look down a considerable amount. Now, as far as plasma pistol goes, it is roughly the same sculpt, so no big change there. However, the paint applications are slightly different. You can see that our new Jazwares Vault has a little bit more of a bluish tone with some orange accents. It looks great, and even here at the front end of that pistol, it has a slightly lighter color. I would say like more of like a light bluish. What is a World of Halo figure without a base plate? This is the one that comes with this Grunt Major. It looks great and is pretty unique to the Jazwares Vault. And of course, let us never forget the magic of dual-wielding weapons. Our next figure in the Jazwares Vault drop is going to be Jerome, our first member of Red Team. So excited about this. Now, he does come with the Spartan Laser, which I believe is the debut for the World of Halo. I don't think any other figure actually has that weapon, so that is a big bonus for us. I gotta say, I really love how they posed him for this box art. I mean, really cool. I mean, he's like ready to bring the heat. And then we have a nice traditional illustration there on the side, and then a nice close-up at the front. Again, a Vault limited edition. Now, I haven't opened this up yet because I want to see what it looks like together. I literally just took off the sticky that was there, and so it has that open window display, and oh man, he looks amazing. Wow, that visor really pops right there. Now, this is one of those figures that if you're an inbox collector or like to have a second one to display the art or the figure inside, then this is one to do so, because that presentation is phenomenal. Man, Jerome might be my new favorite figure from the World of Halo. He looks amazing. I mean, imagine the Spartan collection, all that detail and articulation, but just like shrink it down to the World of Halo. That is what you're getting here, and probably even a little bit more. He can shoulder that Spartan Laser, no problem. His visor is nice and piercing. Love the overall color scheme to him. It looks super accurate. And Halo 2 Wars has some of the best cutscenes in all of Halo. Of course, he can holster that Spartan Laser to the back of his armor, no problem. You can see on that right shoulder pad, we have that little Spartan logo right there for Red Team. Looks incredible. We have some more coloring and details to the front of the chest plate. Now, these are all things things that were included in the Spartan collection, but now they were able to do that on such a smaller scale. We even have his number there on the top left of his chest plate. Again, that visor is nice and piercing. If you're Covenant, that is the face of death, and that is one of the last things you will be seeing is that visor. Now, this is definitely a premium World of Halo figure. There is a lot of different color schemes going on. To the front of the chest plate, we have that like little light blue with the gunmetal gray on the sides. To his obliques on his like gel layer, there's like a little bit of a lighter gray, and then going all the way down, the little details, sculpting, articulation, a little bit of a different color to like the knee pads, and then all the way down to the toes. Since this is the first appearance of the Spartan Laser, I gotta give you a good close-up of this and the sculpting. Per usual, they've done a fantastic job sculpting these little weapons together. You can see we have some earth green tones, as well as like a little bit of grays there. We have a UNSC logo on the top. And when I flip this on around, you can see more of that painted application continues to the opposite side, and we even have that little peg for the Spartan armor. I do feel like him and the ODST are going to sell out pretty quick on the Jazwares vault. I mean, he is a very popular character. And again, Halo 2 Wars, amazing cutscenes. As much as I would love to go crazy in depth with all of these figures, I can't have this video being 3 hours long. So, just right off the bat, articulation. He can bring those arms all the way upwards. Traditional joints all throughout. I guess key features here are going to be a break at the elbow, 90 degrees. Fantastic. We do have the ball and socket joints at the hips. I can bring the legs outwards. I could probably do the splits if I just like finagle the little leg armor in there. Yeah, I could basically do the splits, bring them on in. We do have that joint on the inside of the thighs, inwards, crazy, and outwards, amazing. Double joints at the legs. I can basically fold this leg completely on itself. This is nothing new with the World of Halo. Again, they pack quite a punch in such a small scale of figures. At his torso, he does have some ab crunch going on right there, so that is great to see. Every little bit counts. We do have some movement from left to right. Nothing crazy over the top, but that is nice to see right there. At his head, starting in a neutral position, I can have him looking upwards just a smidge. Nothing too crazy before the back of the helmet gets in the way of the neck gel layer, and then looking downwards, an even better amount. Looks good. That head is on a swivel as well, so I should be able to take it and spin it all the way around. Sorry, Jerome, but yeah, we can take that, spin it around, no problem. And before I forget, he does have some paint apps to the top of the helmet. All of this is traditional to what his in-game character looks like. Let's keep the trend going with Spartans. We have our third member of Blue Team, Kelly. Very excited about this one. One step closer to completing Blue Team. She does have the Oathsworn shotgun and her environmental base. Again, another great illustration of her on the back as well as the side of the packaging. I have not seen this figure yet in person because I want to debut it with you and have a more genuine reaction. Just open up this flip cover and oh man, she looks good. One of the first things that you notice is that big visor. Another beautiful presentation. She does look good inside of the packaging, but you know, we gotta take her on out. We have another vault sticker right there. Again, limited edition. Out of the packaging, Kelly looks great, rocking that EVA helmet as well as a Mark 4 through 6 armor style. Fantastic looking. And of course, I got to give you a nice close-up of that helmet because it's just so iconic. They did a good job with that like metallic paint to give it a chrome look. It is painted on really well, and there isn't an oversaturation of bleed or anything that is like spilling into the rest of the armor. You can see at the top left of her chest rig, she has her numbering 087. There's some more little accents throughout the rest of her armor, but overall, it is a nice white tone to it. There isn't a whole lot of weathering going on to this, but that is okay because we can apply a nice black wash later. You can tell that this is definitely a new sculpted piece here at the torso because it is a little bit more narrow, giving her that more feminine look. So if you love Fred and our Halo Infinite Master Chief, then you're going to love the articulation that this figure has. So we can bring these arms upwards about almost a full right angle, and then I can spin this on around. And what I do love is that if you look here at her shoulder like gel layer, there's some like little sculpted details right there. It looks so good. And then as far as articulation at the elbow, she can do a full, looks like 90 degrees, maybe just slightly under 90. And then we got that nice flexion at the wrist. And I can also spin this baby all the way around. Despite having a noticeably smaller torso, she doesn't have a whole lot of movement going on here. I mean, there is some movement from left to right, but nothing crazy over the top. At her hips, we have more of that traditional joints. You bring the legs inwards and outwards. Great range of motion, and I can probably even do the splits. Absolutely incredible. We do have the double joints at the knees, and they did paint the pins to match the rest of her armor. I should be able to take this leg and completely fold it back on itself. So insane. Love that. And then finally, we do have some nice articulation here at the foot and the ankle, and I should be able to take this foot and spin it on around. As beautiful as this helmet and visor is, how functional is it? It does have our hinge and swivel, so I can have her looking downwards a pretty good amount. Upwards is a little bit more limited, but we can still get some movement there. Of course, I should be able to spin her head completely a full 360. Now you've seen I've been able to pose her and stuff, keeping her shotgun on there, no problem. So it fits in the back of her armor, nice and snug. So let's get a good look at this. It is the first appearance of the Oathsworn Shoddy. Now you can see the sculpting looks great. There's some little texture here, the little foregrip, nice color tones throughout the grip, as well as like the pump itself has more of a metallic gray. There's a red trim with a little bit of white throughout. And when I flip this on around, you can see that more of that paint is still included on the opposite side. You can see they even sculpted a little light here at like the front of that barrel. When it comes to her ergonomics, she can two-hand the shotgun, no problem. She can even seat that stock towards the back of her shoulder, and it looks great, nice and aggressive. But if you wanted a more relaxed and deadly look, then she can achieve that with ease. Before we move on to the ODST, I gotta show you what our blue team consists of right now in the world of Halo. And now, finally, we have some more ODSTs. This is going to be our third ODST from the world of Halo. Now, I do believe that this is going to be a Series 5 type of repack, but it does have the little red striping on the sides of the armor, and I do believe that means like a squad leader, at least as far as ODSTs go. I am loving the packaging to this, but I mean, how could you not? It's an ODST. We have that matte background, glossy appearance there. He does come with the battle rifle. We have a nice illustration here on the side, as well as the front, a nice close-up, and it is again a limited edition. I would like to see a battle pack of ODSTs, like maybe 3 or 5 of them. At the end of the day, a single pack release is great because you could still army build these babies, and look at him in there. Whoa, he's got a lot more weathering. All right. Now this looks great. Noticeable differences, at least as far as paint applications go, from our Series 5 and our rookie. And you know, of course, we're going to do a comparison on those. The battle rifle has some updated paint apps as well. You can see his little environmental base plate in the back right there. Displays really well in the packaging, but you know, we got to open this baby up. Alright, let's hell dive right into this. The first things that I noticed is solid and sturdy. Everything to this ODST is nice and snug, no loose joints, nothing like that. It is constructed very well. Now, our very first ODST within Series 5 was actually a really solid figure also. I mean, the ergonomics were great, it could shoulder the BR, it had great posability, and it was definitely the best figure from Series 5, hands down. So if this figure is at least the minimum of that Series 5 ODST, then I think we're in the clear. Of course, it also goes without me saying just the other noticeable differences, the weathering throughout, the dirty feet, the dirty shin guards, and all that. And then we also have the red, which I would imagine is going to be the leader of the ODSTs, that little badge or like that red paint there on the side of that shoulder piece. And here, check this out. At the top of the head, you can see some of that like weathering and scratches at the top of the helmet. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you don't really see that with these figures. Let's take a good close up to this armor and all of that weathering. You can see just how scuffed and weathered they really made this. We still have some of that camo throughout the forearms as well as the thighs. You can see moving on down, more of like the shin guards are super dirty. Definitely been trekking through it for sure. You can see that that UNSC logo is nice and clear at that left chest plate. Making our way towards the back, you can see more of that weathering is applied. Looks good. Doesn't look too heavily applied, but it is still noticeable. I would say more or less the calves and the feet have the most amount of weathering, that's for sure. But nonetheless, this is a great canvas for customizers, army builders, and just overall fans of ODSTs. Let's compare our ODSTs. We have our rookie drop pod set, and then we we have our Series 5 and Jazwares Battle Pack exclusive ODST. Right off the bat, you can see that the visors between our rookie and our single release are the same color, whereas our Series 5 and Battle Pack release is definitely a lighter color than the other two. Alright, we'll get the rookie out of here and just compare these two ODSTs. It does seem like they are going to be the exact same figures. So starting here at the shoulders, you can see a very similar range of motion between the two. And then the other big area to take note is going to be here at the elbow joints. Both of them are still slightly under 90 degrees. I thought in the beginning that the new BR was going to be a little bit different paint applications, but they both seem to be the same. And honestly, I'm okay with that. It still looks really good from the get-go. The posability with this figure is just so good. They were able to execute it really well. I mean, we have the double joints at the legs, and we can basically fold this entire thing on itself. Looks so good. We have the flexion here at the ankle going forwards and backwards. These joints feel nice and tight, and I just love that about these figures, especially a popular character such as the ODST. There isn't that much torso movement. I mean, just a little bit moving from side to side, but you don't really have any flexion going forwards and backwards. That would be my only, upgrade to this figure, but other than that, they really crushed this one. Overall, I'm super happy about this ODST. I mean, they really did a great job beginning with Series 5. I mean, I know it was hard to get to begin with, but now to be able to get another one that is a little bit more accessible, you can really kind of army build this baby. I'm super pumped about it, and I know the rest of the community will be too. Hopefully we get some more army building packs and just overall more ODSTs. Man, that was an incredible drop for the new Jazwares Vault release. Remember, these go live Wednesday, August 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I feel like Jerome and the ODST have the potential to sell out, so make sure you stay ready. Honestly, there isn't much more to add to this. I mean, we got nothing but Halo, so that was awesome. Obviously, since we have Jerome in Red Team, we need to see Douglas, we need to see Alice, we need to see the rest of Blue Team, and obviously some more ODSTs. I would also love to see some more vehicles like the Razorback, the Banshee, hopefully a Scorpion tank, and a Covenant Ghost. That is it for this unboxing and review of the new 4 figures from the Jazwares Vault. I want to say thank you again to Jazwares for allowing me to present these to you and giving you a first look at these releases. If you did enjoy this unboxing and review, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Make sure you connect with me on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date when new things drop, like the rest of these Jazwares Vault figures. I also post toy photography and toy videos. Until then, collectors, I'll see y'all in the next video.